Melania Trump. Great to see you. Welcome back.
Thank you. Good morning.
Listen, I guess the first thing is congratulations.
I want to also thank my beautiful wife, Melania, First Lady.
You need to defend yourself all the time. As you may heard, I file a few lawsuits and I'm in the court now because they accuse me of doing stuff that I never did in my life, and they wrote lies, and I will not allow that. I will fight till the end because I don't want that they damage my reputation.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Okay, so we can all agree on that. That's a given. I also think that she wants to take him out. She does not want to be the first lady anymore.
If you average out the View hosts, among the dumbest people on television.
Sunny's dumb. Certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so...
Melania Trump has just made a historic move that could completely shift the media landscape, securing what's being called one of the largest defamation settlements ever. She just won a staggering $900 million from The View and co-host SunnyHostin. But this victory isn't just personal, it's a game changer for media accountability. It sends a powerful message. Careless, agenda-driven attacks on public figures won't go unchallenged any longer. For years, The View operated with the belief that they could say anything, smear anyone in their crosshairs, and face zero consequences. Politicians, celebrities, former first ladies, no one was safe from their unchecked commentary disguised as truth. But that era is now officially over. This massive financial blow could very well spell the end of the show. It all began when SunnyHostin, in her typical smug fashion, took aim at Melania during a live broadcast. With no evidence and no shame, she boldly claimed that Melania hated her husband and only pretended to love him for financial gain. Ridiculous? Absolutely. But she presented it as fact, as if she had intimate knowledge of the Trump marriage. And, true to The View style, none of the other hosts bothered to challenge her. Now, the tides have turned, and the consequences are clear. They all just nodded along treating this.
What do you love most about your husband?
His humor, his personality, his kindness. He's very special. His positivity, his energy, it's unbelievable. Yeah, so we have a beautiful relationship.
What do the two of you like to do for fun if you're not working?
To have dinner, sometimes quiet dinner or dinner with friends and listen to the music, all kind of different musics.
I hear he likes to be the DJ.
He likes to be the DJ, and it's very fun night when he does that.
This time, Melania wasn't going to let it slide. She's no stranger to media mudslinging. Over the years, the press has painted her as a cold, detached trophy wife caught in the political crossfire of her husband's career. But this time, she'd had enough. She wasn't going to let The View tear her reputation apart just for ratings. Determined to fight back, Melania quickly assembled a powerhouse legal team and filed a defamation lawsuit that laid out, in painstaking detail, how the show had crossed the line from opinion to malicious falsehoods that harmed her public image. The legal battle stretched on for months, with ABC scrambling to defend their hosts. They tried to hide behind the First Amendment, claiming their words were protected as free speech. But the evidence against them was undeniable. Melania's legal team presented a clear pattern of The View targeting conservative women with lies and damaging narratives, while giving left-wing figures a free pass. The receipts were all there: defamatory statements, interviews where the hosts doubled down on their false claims, and proof that the rhetoric wasn't just careless. It was a deliberate attempt to destroy.
I have to say, I was surprised when she mentioned his sense of humor. But I'm going to leave that alone and ask you all the question. Will the candidate spouses getting involved like she just did?
What?
That's what it says. That's what it says. And you know, this is my job.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it.
Yeah.
As I said, as she just did, will it make a difference here?
Well, I think when you hear Doug Emhoff the vice president's, husband speak about their relationship, I think it's very touching. He is behind her 100%. He's very loving. He spoke at the DNC, and I think he described a person that people wanted to know.
ABC's defense strategy was no match for the legal onslaught, as Melania hit the network with a staggering $900 million in damages, marking one of the largest defamation payouts in history. For ABC, this was a financial disaster. The View had long been one of their flagship programs, but now this lawsuit could signal the beginning of the end for the show. As for SunnyHostin, it's safe to say her nights are probably filled with anxiety. Her reckless words cost the network nearly $1 billion, and now she's facing a massive wave of backlash. Inside ABC, whispers are circulating that executives are furious and even considering firing her in a desperate attempt to salvage what's left of the network's credibility. Her reputation is in ruins. After years of positioning herself as the moral compass of the show, she now finds herself at the center of one of the most humiliating defamation losses in television history. Who could take her seriously after this?
In person, I'm reluctant to comment on other people's marriages because I don't want anybody to comment on mine. But they've been married 19 years. And in my experience, people that have been married that long are not necessarily polar opposites, right? They have a lot of commonality. And so I think these two are simpatico. I remember that when Joy interviewed Melania on her show in 2011, she backed her husband's birther claims.
That's right.
That
was on your show.
That was on her show. She questioned Barack Obama's citizenship.
A show that they took away from me. Go ahead.
But you ain't over it. It's fine.
But I'm not bitter.
You were fired.
Go ahead.
She did that even though she wasn't.
Meanwhile, Melania Trump is emerging from this battle stronger than ever. For too long, she was dismissed as just another political spouse, dragged through the media mud with no recourse. But now, she's shattered that perception. This lawsuit wasn't just about securing an apology or a retraction, it was about making a bold statement. By landing a settlement so massive, it could potentially sink an entire show, she set a new precedent for media accountability. The ripple effect of this case is already being felt across the media world. If The View can be taken down for defamation, what's stopping others from going after outlets that have built their brands on trashing public figures? Celebrities, politicians, and media personalities everywhere are now realizing they don't have to sit back and let their reputations be destroyed. Legal teams are more empowered than ever to take on these media giants. And then there's JoeRogan, the podcast king, who didn't hold back. He absolutely tore into The View, calling out what he saw as blatant hypocrisy. Rogan pointed out the glaring contradiction. Just a few years ago, Donald and Melania Trump were treated like royalty on the show, receiving applause and praise. Fast forward to today, and they're being demonized as villains. The double standard was impossible to ignore.
I wanted to play this, but we decided we shouldn't play it. We don't want anybody to have any sort of way to get it down. The episode of you when you're on The View, when you were running for president.
Right.
Donald Trump is a billionaire, a real estate mogul, and a television star. But does he really want to add President of the United States to his resume? A lot of people would like him to.
You got introduced as our friend Donald Trump.
Please, let's find out, and please welcome my friend, Donald Trump.
Whoopi Goldberg gives you a big hug and a kiss. Joy Behar gives you a big hug. Barbara Walters gives you a big hug. They all loved you.
We're so happy to have you. Whenever you're on with us, we're very happy.
They were talking about you as such a favorable light. The audience was cheering, and then you actually started winning in the polls, and then the machine started working towards you.
Joe Biden knows how to do this. Trump.
Yeah.
He tends to just...
Rogan didn't mince words, calling it a calculated narrative flip driven more by politics than genuine conviction. He kept the heat on, mocking The View for prioritizing sensationalism over substance. If you average the IQs of the View hosts, you might still struggle to hit triple digits, he quipped, letting that burn linger. Harsh? Absolutely. But his audience ate it up, and the shots landed with brutal accuracy. As the dust settles, ABC executives are scrambling behind the scenes, trying to figure out their next move. The network has taken a massive financial hit, and advertisers are reportedly pulling back, unwilling to be associated with a show that just cost the company nearly $1 billion. Some insiders are even speculating that The View might be canceled entirely, or at least undergo a massive overhaul, with some hosts, like Hostin, possibly shown the door. SunnyHostin, who's usually quick to double down when challenged, has been eerily silent since the verdict. No rants, no interviews, just radio silence.